Welcome everyone. I'm really flattered to see you here. I know it's late. We are all tired, including me. So I will try to not keep you for too long here. So let's just go. I'm Paweł. I'm lead designer in Stribog Games. We are making this really cool game that you should all play, Gemstone Legends. And I will be talking a bit more about it and how we monetize it, how we earn on this game. So just a short agenda, what we'll be talking about. I will tell you about our in-game events, how we started and what we have now, so basically the history of making our events together with offers development, so how we developed events and how we developed offers to work together. Then just a few words about our system, so what magic wand we use to manage everything, and then just few tips that mistakes we made and maybe you will not. And then some questions we will have time, I hope so. So how it all started and why this Krakow studio wanted to compete in this genre like RPG. Well, our history is on social casino games, and we have like 20 or more years experience in social casinos. And as maybe you know, social casino is a genre that you don't have much gameplay, but you must have a really good live ops. You have to manage players, give them content to play and pay. So we have players that spend 15, 18 years in our games. They spend like 2 million zlotys in poker games, etc. So, and those players are mostly 30 to 35 years old males. So the perfect audition for RPG games. So we're looking for titles for genre when we can use this knowledge of live opsing such group of players, and that's why we decided to go with RPGs. So we played a lot of games. We played all those titles here and much more. We are looking through their social media. We are reading a lot, talking with influencers, just to learn what players like and what players dislike about those games and their events. So we had those 3 questions at the beginning. What motivates players, why those events are positively affecting retention, and why they are monetization. And the answer was challenge and the reward. So in all those games, players were constantly challenged by developers and rewarded for their time spent or resource spent or whatever was needed. So that's the way we wanted to go, to make a good challenge with a good reward for the players. And our first event was pretty simple. We have this dungeon in our games. It's Phoenix Dungeon. And what players had to do in the first event was defeating this Phoenix and gaining points. So each battle were giving points, and players had to reach 3,000 points. So when doing battle 6, they had to do 300 battles. And that was it. Very simple. And for players to play, they need energy. So if they needed to do 300 battles in a certain period of time, they needed energy. So first offer was just buy energy cheaper than our regular shop. And it worked. Players wanted to finish the event. They bought energy, they finished the event, and they got better rewards from event just because of this. So what we did next? How we developed this, how we use this idea to increase our KPIs. So at start, there was simple events that showed you. But we noticed that it's RPG players are very learning very fast. So when they were seeing same events over and over, after 3-4 months, they learned what is coming. They learned the curve of our events. They knew that if this event requires energy, the next one will require something else. And they were hoarding resources. Like, you know, we are playing RPG and you are hoarding all those mana potions that you will use later on and you never do. They are doing the same. So we came up with idea of mixed events where players were not only using one resource, but they were challenged to do more. And we did events where, on this example, it's not only energy, but also opening scrolls in some kind of special in-game missions. And thanks to this, players were unable to predict what's coming in the future because events they were not that repetitive. And still are adding a lot of new quests, new actions to do. So players every month have something new, something that is surprising them. But then, after I would say years of balancing, analyzing, over and over, we came to the moment where our events became too hard and too difficult for newer users. So we took a step back and asked ourselves what we can do to increase our retention, not just monetization. So we added a concept of retention events where players have time limit, but also the daily limit of points they can get. In our regular events, they were able to get, basically, they can finish the event in the one day. If they are rich enough or have enough time, they can just go through the event, finish it one day, and leave the game. In these events, they have to come back daily to the game and do the daily tasks. They were very easy. They are not monetizing. They are basically using 10% of free resources player has. But they have to come back daily to the game. And we did it to increase retention. And yeah, well, it was pretty good, but still not enough. So in our game and in many RPGs, there are guilds. I know most of you are familiar with what guilds are. Basically, lots of players playing together in one big group. And guilds are extremely important in our game. Players that are engaged in the guild, they have much better KPIs than those that aren't in the guild. So players themselves were asking us to give them more guild challenges, more guild content for them to do. So we agreed, and we developed guild events. And it was basically one of our best moves about events, just because it is working on so many levels. Firstly, it's challenge not for one player, but for 30 players. So they feel the social pressure on doing things and not letting down your colleagues. The other thing is this contribution leaderboard, where leader can check who is doing the event and who is trying to sneak out and just claim rewards. So it's very important. And the third thing is that players could justify their purchases. They could tell, okay, I'm not buying for myself, I'm buying for the whole guild, because if I do the event, everybody will claim rewards. So very good move, and very good both from content side, so affecting retention, and from monetization side. But as I said before, we are still struggling with this early retention because events were complicated. They were required a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resources from players. And we knew that if player engaged in the event, he will stay with our game. He will monetize much better. He will engage in the content. He will be just a better, more valuable player. So to make this smooth come to the events, to not overwhelm player at the beginning, we decided to turn off all these events for new players and just stick with free beginner events for the new users. And for the first 7 days of our game, you will have only the beginner events, and this just because it's easier for a new player to come to the game and make simple tasks before going to the harder ones. And it's just an example. It's a very simple one where a player has to just open 15 gold scrolls and he'll be rewarded with this epic champion. So, as I said, free these events, and it allows players to go into events, learn to do them, and then go much deeper into other ones. And the cherry on the top, our newest addition, is World Event. It's similar to Guild ones, but more about doing it together as the whole game. So the whole server is doing one event together. It's hard to monetize, but it's a very good way to reward players. We did it for Christmas time. So we gave them something new. We gave them content and challenge and rewards. So they were pretty happy about it. And pretty happy community is happy developers. So go with it. And what we have in plans? There is still much to come, and as you may notice, our events are not lore-based. There's no story behind them. They are more focused on spending resources. And we want to add events that are more oriented on story, on fighting with overcoming some challenges, developing more heroes. So it's our next step. Also tournaments, players love to being challenged, and they love to be better than other players. So we did tournaments already, and we want to do more of them. And also we want to test the idea of choosing the reward player can win, because the reward is the main reason why player is doing the event. So if they can choose the reward, they can engage more. So what next? We have events. Now you know how they work, what they look like, but how we earn this. How we do it, that players that are participating in the event are also paying money. So as I showed you at the beginning of two simple events, we had single offers. So like buy one resource. But those kind of offers are hard to manipulate the price, because you can only change the value that is in the shop and give it in the promotion. So next thing we did was adding multi-product offers. So we can add like 2, 3, 4, 5 things to one package and change the price accordingly. And basically this is what we are mostly working on. So multiple packages of multiple resources. But when we're adding those multi-product offers, we noticed that newer players are not really paying that well. And that was probably because they didn't know the value of the items. They didn't know what to buy among all these offers. So we made starter and founder pack just to show them what they should buy. The starter is for you. You are a newbie. Get the starter. We make it look pretty nice. It's animating. It's like shiny, bright thing in the game. So so this is something made especially for newer players to show them what to get first. And I want to hold on for a moment here, because this was the moment we realized that we need some automatization. It's like manual work is not good enough. We need things that will automate our processes. So we have this system that I will talk about a bit later. And in this system, we are taking all the data we have in the game and preparing some scripts. And what we did at first, we checked the idea, what will happen if we will prepare offers that are not just sent to the player, but they are sent to the player at the moment he needs it. So let's imagine player is having like 10 million coins and he's upgrading artifacts. In our game, maybe it doesn't matter, you have to spend coins to upgrade your artifacts. And you are in the middle of upgrading, and now you run out of coins. So now the game can indicate that this player is using the coins, he ran out of them, and we send him an offer. So it was our first tailored offer sent in the moment player needs it. And it was a really big step in the development process, because it was super tailored for the player needs. And then we did something that also our community suggested to us, and it was guild gifts. Actually, it was we beat our record on this offer with 17% of conversion. So we like really the top of the top. And guild gift works on also many levels. Like for the guild, you are buying something for you and something for every member. So you can also justify your purchase because you are not buying only for yourself. And what's more, if you are the one that received the gift, you want to buy for the guy who gave you this. So combining those two motivators, let's say, the offer will, like I said, working extremely good. In the meantime, we are working on our subscription model called Gemstone Prime. Sorry. So it's like unique bonuses, but subscription is very good for every game, I would say. But for us, it was really great for both retention, because players that bought it, they had something more in the game every day, so they were coming back. And for monetization, because every month they were renewing this subscription, and we get money from this. So, so really good move to add subscription to your game. And again, when we take a step back, as I said, we canceled all the events for the new players, and we did the same thing with offers. We noticed that too many offers are overwhelming. Players do not know what to buy. Even they got starter and founder, they still are getting other packages. So we said, okay, let's not give them normal deals. Let's prepare only the offers for the beginners. So the newer player will have only the event beginners and offers for beginners. He will be not overwhelmed, and he will know what to buy. And with, as I said, this very good move for your attention, because players will be less exhausted by number of pop-ups. And this is like just an example offer. And as you might notice, we changed the layout a bit, so it looked a bit more professional. And our two newest add-ons to the game, a Battle Pass. I don't know if many of you are familiar with what Battle Pass is, but let's say it's a feature where players are getting some free-to-play rewards, but to get them, they have to come back to the game and do certain quests. And there is also a premium rewards they have to buy. So we added it. We made a deal to buy this premium pass, and it also increased our retention very well, because when player gets it, to climb all the rewards, he has to come back to game and do quests and come back and do quests. So a very good way to increase retention. And as I said, this is very good value pack, but needs to be climbed by playing every day. And the newest thing are offers for gear that are tailored to the player, but they tailor them themselves. So they can choose what to buy. We are not choosing by ourselves, but we are sending this offer, and players can choose which one he needs, and then he buys it. So also a very good way to give the player this sense of not if I want to buy, but what I want to buy. And what we have in plans are offers that increase retention more. Like you may know from similar games, this offer when you get 3,000 games in super high promotion, but you get 500 and then 100 every day. So something we have to add. We want to go also with this more choose what to buy offers, so offers that player can tailor to themselves, and we'll be working on improving our lobby, because we feel like it's a very good way to show player what they can get if the lobby icons are working well. Okay, so we went through our events and our offers, how we do it, but what tool we have, what magic wand is our hand that we can tailor these offers so good. And this tool is our tool that was developed in our studio. It's based on HTML, so we do not need to release client version or anything to add new event, to add new offers, because all the graphics, all the translations are on web. So we can change and do everything in the blink of an eye. And what's super and extremely important, it was the biggest win for us, is that this tool is built on all the events from OpsFlyer. Everything that player does is sent to this system, and you can use this data, we can use scripting to check what player needs. So what we can do is, if player is non-payer, we can send him only the offers that are low price or not send anything. If player is paying a lot, we can send him offers that are offering very good items at high value and high price. If player is stuck on level X, we can send him offer that will help him overcome this challenge. We can do like everything. We can segment our players and send them offers that they need, not the offers that are general in the game. So this is super important, and this is basically how we managed to reach this ARPPU just by tailoring to player needs. Of course, easy to use and navigate, it's important for us because we as designers are not very familiar with scripting, with say HTML code, so this is the front end is very, very useful for us. And what's also important, this tool is not only about events and offers, but it's also letting us to send personal messages, to send gifts, to prepare redeem codes, to launch in-game functionalities. So it's very useful and very handy. What's more, our company has some EU grants for developing of this system. And what we plan to do is to add a gameplay simulator, but not just to check if the balance is good. What we want to do is to make a gameplay simulator that will follow the player, that will analyze what the player is doing, how is he playing, if he's good at the game or if he's bad at the game. And by doing so, this simulator will be able to change the balance of next levels. So for the better player, it can make it harder. For, let's say, bad player, it can make next level easier. By doing so, we'll be able to add blockers in the custom places for each player, add offers in the custom places for each player. Just by manipulating gameplay by a little bit, we'll tweak each player lifetime. Okay, so this was about our system, and now a few words about what we did good and what we did bad, and what to avoid and what to do maybe. And I would like to start with community. If you have game, you probably have community. If you didn't set up any community space, community did it for themselves, and it's really great to talk with them. They will tell you what they need. They will tell you what they like. They will tell you what they dislike. Mostly what they dislike. So yeah, it's very, very important because not only for you to learn what your players like, but if you will listen to them and sometimes do things they want, they will really, really feel very appreciated. And one of the things that community was forcing us to do was event calendar. This is basically the whole description of events that will be coming in certain month in our game. We were very skeptic about it because we had this problem with players holding resources, and adding calendar was like a shot on the knee. Because if they know what's happening in the whole month, they will just hoard more. But the players were pushing a lot, so we decided, okay, let's give it a go. Let's see how it works. And it occurs that it's actually a good move. Why? Just because players that could see, okay, this event is coming like 2 weeks, that means I do not need to hold resources now. I can spend some and start holding next week. And thanks to this, they were holding much less because they knew what's happening. They were not afraid to spend things. So a good move for us, and just because of this, we are able to use our analysis and check when was the last event, how many resources player has on their account, and how the balance should look like. And coming to balance, rebalancing took us. It's still going, but basically to coming to the way we are now, it's like 1.5 years of hard work of checking, analyzing, rebalancing, and changing stuff around. And don't be afraid to do it, because it's really hard to make a good balance at the start. And the game is growing, game is changing, so you will need to tweak your events to this. But just what I want to say, if you are rebalancing your events or anything in the game, and you are making it harder, don't forget to give player more rewards. Because if you just make it harder without giving anything additional, player will hate you. So about prizes, the motivation, because for the players to do the event, they need motivation. In our game, they are spending those, let's say, low quality resources to get high quality resources. And the stuff you'll be offering, or you are offering in your events, should be something that is really hard to get in the game, or something that is even not buyable and can be get only in events. And this way, player will feel motivation to buy some basic stuff, use it, finish the event, and get the good stuff. And distribution events. Not every event is super monetizing. There are peaks and, let's say, low bars. And it's good. And it's good because if you do only events that are high peaks, your players will burn out very fast. They will have no time to use resources they get, to just take a rest, to play the game. They will feel constant pressure of buying stuff, and it's not good for you. It's better to monetize and then give them 2-3 days of, let's say, just playing with no big pressure, and to give them a bigger rest before bigger events. This way they will be more eager to buy, and all in all, it will give you more money than just constant monetization at the same level. And last thing, number of pop-ups. I will not give you an answer how to do it. It's different for every game. I will just tell you that you have to test it and check what's working for you. So don't be afraid to A/B test, to change things around. What we stick for is 3 pop-ups at max at once, but maybe for your game it will be different. So take a look at your KPIs and just check how many pop-ups your players can see at once. So that will be all, and I want to finish with an example what this system allowed us to do, and how did we earn 1 million zlotys from single user. As I said to you before, our company history is social casino games, and our top spender in social casino was this guy that played for 15 years and spent 2 million zlotys. In Gemstone Legends, we had this player that when came to the game, he bought everything. Like just in the blink of eye, he got every offer. And our system informed us, hey, there's a player. He's spending, give him more. So we did it. We said, okay, system, give more offers. And the system is pretty automated, so it was like generating more and more and more offers, giving him stuff to buy. So he was like buying, and we were giving more. He was buying, we were giving more. And just by this, just by tailoring these offers and giving him enough, we earned 1 million in 4 weeks. So this is the power of live ops, and I strongly encourage you to live ops your game, because it really helps and gives you a lot of money. So I think we have some time if you have questions. Yeah.
Thanks for the talk. It was really insightful. I have a question segmentation, and do you do dynamic pricing in your game per country?
We don't do dynamic pricing. We stick with dollar and just changing to other currencies. And your first question was about?
How do you perform payer segmentation? Do you use the device for pre-segmentation, or is it just a purchasing power based on the historical transactions?
No, we have this tool called AppsFire, and it's It's collecting all the events from the game. So let's say we know that player moved from place A to place B. He spent resource A. He's on this level of resource B. He has this kind of champions, and he doesn't have this kind of champions. At Tessera, we have like whole big package of data, and the system is scripted. So we can tell, okay, let's take players that are on level hard and don't have champion X, and give them offer to get this champion, for example. So this is what we do. We just take all the data, we take player needs, and then push the offer they need.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the payers. So regarding to payers.
Payers, okay.
Yeah. Do you offer to each payer the same paying segment? I guess not. Or you send like $99 pack for one and $5 pack.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have like payers that can spend like $200 in a week, we are giving them offers that they can get like one offer of $50 to not like click and buy 10 times the same thing. So for, let's say, minnows, we are doing different offers, and for whales, we are doing different offers. Yeah, mostly, yes. And the system, it's automated to this way that if it will see that player reach this point of spend $200 spent in his lifetime, he will switch to different offers. So it will change the system approach to this player. Any more questions? I don't see. So thank you very much.
Paweł.